Well, hey everybody. Today's adventure is going to be out of the big hive. Probably rob some frames from the nook over there. We're probably going to try to rob some queen cells also from the big hive. We're going to try to rob some mini frames. And then we have a new addition here. This was it's one deep frame and full of brood and with some queen cells, and so the rest of it's got medium frames, and this is just an empty nook beside it. So we're going to try to take queen cells from the good nook, put them in here. We're going to take the drawn out minis from the big hive, put them in here into the mini. We'll replace those with these. These are drawn full frames here in the empty nook. We're going to feed this one, and we might feed the other nook that has. We're going to check to see if the queen was released. I went and bought a queen the other day, and anyway, there's a lot to do out here, and I don't know if I can put it right into words correctly, but we're going to take no less than 3 hives and try to make them into a bunch more hives. So we'll see how that goes. I've got some sugar water, some pollen substitute. I just got to try to figure out the best way to go in, because I need to get into all 3 of these, and 4 if you count the mini-nuc, kind of at the same time and kind of in order. So we'll see if we can figure it out and take you along. So I have a little bit better idea of the sequence, but step 1 is to prepare the mini-nuc to receive the frames from the big hive. So I've got the frames pulled out of 1/2, and I'm going to go into the big hive, then grab out the mini frames and then put them in here with the bees that they have on them, and however they're drawn or undrawn. So that'll be step 1. So we'll get into the big hive and then bring the mini frames here, replacing the mini frames with the full frames from this nook that I brought that was just basically a frame carrier. Well, I give a lot of credit to the bare hand beekeepers, and even more to the no veil beekeepers. You do your thing. We did change horses a little bit midstream, so I've got the 6 frames that were in the big hive drawn out. They're in here now. Replaced 6 frames of the mini frames into the big hive to get drawn out more. And so then what we need to do now is we need to get down into the bottom box of the big hive, the deep there, and shake some bees into the mini nucs, and then close it up and feed them. Put the big hive back together, and then we'll go into the nook that I just put a queen into the other day. We'll look for queen cells. If we can cut any queen cells out, if they're capped, it'd be close. But we'll put those queen cells into the mini, and then we'll just put that one back together, feed it, and then last step we have to do is to feed the new one here with the lid on it. So anyway, yeah, I say I give a lot of credit to the bare handers, because when you're trying to hit play with a glove that looks like that, it won't work. So I just have to tell you what I did and what I'm going to do on the next step, and just take my word on it. here we found a queen cell in the in that hive, so we'll take this best we can and put it into this mini. See what we get. It is capped, so we didn't keep a ton of bees in there, did we? Didn't keep a ton of bees in any of them. We're learning as we go. We're learning. You know, one thing, the bees are not happy with me. Do you blame them? Robbing everything else. I got the aftermath anyway. I've got a couple bees that just won't let it go. But kind of walk you through what we got done today. Verified queen release in the mini-nuc. Didn't do anything else. Besides take the shim off and put the lid back on so they didn't have the wrong bee space. I'm gonna leave her alone to get established. This big hive was starting to get honey bound, so I pulled a couple of the frames out of the top box that were nectar and eggs, put them into the brand new nuc, and backfilled those with empty drawn frames. Hopefully they understand they aren't out of room, but we'll see what happens there. So like I said, the newest nuc, I fed it sugar water with the bagging method. I got a video about that. And I gave it some of this Bee Pro pollen supplement. All I did there was I took this container lid, similar to the one that the Bee Pro is sitting on now, and I placed it on top of the frames, just like the baggie would be, actually right behind the baggie. And I took this shim, this is the shim, the bluish, and I laid the baggie up toward the front of the hive, and I put the plate with the Bee Pro toward the back of the hive. So they've got honey, or they've got sugar water and pollen sub. And I got to decide if I'm going to leave them closed in or open. On the front of the hive I have the entrance hole. It's got screen stapled over it still, and there's a couple bees that want to get in. Probably let them out before I leave the day, or when I come back perhaps, because I do have to come back because I forgot to bring a spare medium. So this is the inner cover of the 4-way. And you see there, it's got holes for the feeder jars. And then you put a medium or deep on top of the inner, and then you would put the outer cover on it as a unit. So inside the mini, we have bees, and in the green one, we have a queen cell, so we'll mark that on our calendar, start the countdown, because it is capped. So we'll do a countdown for earliest emergence and latest emergence, and then at some point, not today, but I will come back and open that green. There's two entrances. There's the dial, and then there's this little green slot. We'll come back and open that at a later time, not today. I don't want these bees flying off, because the only thing to hold them in there right now would be the feed and the queen cell, and I don't know how well a capped queen cell would keep a queen in place. So long story, a little bit shorter. We do have to run back and grab a empty box, but kind of a big day in the bee yard today. Honked a lot of bees off. The ones that are still flying around. So anyway, I hope they're just having a bad day. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this useful.